Alright folks, everything new under the sun. Well, what you're looking at is a vintage train set, and I haven't really went through this box. I've taken a brief look at some of the the trains here, the engine, and some of the extra cars. I haven't really looked at it too much here, so it's going to really be kind of an unboxing for me as well. Now, I bought this off Kijiji from some guy who was selling it. I thought it would make a great Christmas present, and it was $40. So we're going to try and move this out of the light, and I'm going to kind of take them out one by one. So I'll put the trains just on their side there. We'll put them all out, and then we'll have a look at them, each of them individually. Now this is a Lionel Marx vintage train set. Let me zoom in so you can see this a bit better. This was manufactured apparently from about 1949 to 1952, or this particular model, so far as I gather. Apparently, I don't know the exact history of it, but the guy I bought it from, he used to play with it all the time when he was a kid. So I don't know if he had it for his whole life or what. Seems like he did. Now here's the locomotive. This thing weighs an absolute ton. It is a beast. I'll just set that one like that. We have one more car here. So what this says is actually, I'll hold it up to the camera here. It says Santa Fe 3197. These are actually different. This says Santa Fe 3152, and this just says Santa Fe, the coal car, the tender, as they're called. So I don't even know if I have all the pieces here. I don't know if I have all the tracks, but we're going to go through them and see. Just quick look at this one up close. This is a you can see 1829. I think you can see that 1820. There it is, 1829. And so that is not that it was made in 1829, but that was a model from the 50s. And as far as I know, this does not work. So I actually have to try and get this set going. So let's pull this to the side here. We'll pull the tracks and see what we have. Now here's a little Main Street lamp. It comes with little bulbs. This bulb was smashed on it, as you can see. It says Main Street on it. Pretty neat little thing. It's got the little thumb tabs, so you can actually wire this up. I don't know if this. I assume this is a DC voltage coming through it. I certainly want to. That would be pretty dangerous if that was 120. But yeah, I think the power supply does a 24 volts. Here is the power supply that comes with it. Now I haven't checked if this works. I got my voltmeter. We're going to check it out and see if it does indeed work. For the record, this is going to be a full-length video. I'm not going to cut much out of it. So if you want to skip ahead, go ahead. This is called a multi-volt, and it's got an off, and it's got a fast. So I assume somewhere in the middle is kind of, a slower sort of a speed. This is a type 1012 unit, 35 watts. It's rated at 115 volt, 60 cycles. What's the word? 60 hertz. That's what I'm looking for. So it's American. And yeah, it says voltage 9 to 13 volts that it puts, I guess, through the track. So interesting stuff here. No idea if this works. I'm going to get my voltmeter out and have a look at it. See if it does. Beyond that, we have what appears to be. This appears to be a tunnel for it. So that is pretty neat. You can take a look at this. It's kind of bad lighting, but you can take a look at it. It looks like the countryside. Pretty old-fashioned tin. And so we'll get this set up. Alright, we'll zoom out a bit, and again I'll move some of this stuff to the side, and we're going to pull at the tracks here. Now I have, and sorry with the background noise of the dehumidifier, I have no idea if all the tracks are here. So we've got circle tracks. I haven't even put this together yet. I'll probably see if we can put it together and if we can make a full circuit of it. So I've got a lot of corners, a ton of corners. Should have been counting them, and lots of flat pieces. So This is all pretty basic how these go together. Some of them are bent up. Um, I don't know. Well, I don't know if you can. I don't know if you can see that. Kind of spread apart at the bottom there. Although the ends of them don't look too bad. I don't know if it's focusing on that, but we're gonna have to see how this actually goes together. But a number of different pieces here, and I don't know what does what, to be honest. There's another corner piece. And that's it for the box. So that is kind of all that this thing came with, which you can see there. All the pieces that I have, and then this random piece, which I assume was to connect the power supply to the actual train track. Now, I don't actually know how it connects to the train track yet, so that I still have to figure that out. I've never played with one of these before, so this is going to be a learning experience for me, so stay tuned. A couple things I did notice here is this particular piece has metal going underneath it to this rail and the center rail, so only the outside rails are actually used. But I did notice, I mean, in terms of powering it, I did notice, however, that over here, only the inside rails have the wires coming out of them, the pieces that actually connect them. Let's see if I can disconnect this and show you. You can see the it focuses. It's got the two bottom ones, but not the two outer ones. It's missing the outer one, basically. And the outer one is what completes the circuit, basically, because these are the ones that the positive and negative voltage goes on. So that's probably the reason why it wasn't working for the guy that I got it from, because the circuit around the track wouldn't be able to be completed without that. So I think what I'll do now is see if I can pop those to the outside, pop the inner one to the outside, and it's also missing on this side as well. I'll have to pop that one, put it on the outside, so that we have a full circuit on the outside for positive and negative circuits. I notice also that the inner one is insulated. It's got cardboard there. That means the inner one must be the positive rail. So that's interesting. You can see the cardboard kind of wrapping where it's clamped to the metal, and that keeps it isolated from the negative, which is just grounded right out. So I guess both sides are technically ground, and then the inner one would be the positive. So that's interesting. So let's go ahead and get them fixed up, and then we'll apply some voltage and see if we can trace the voltage from the transformer, and see if that thing works first, and then we'll plug it in here with some wires and see if we can get some voltage around the track, and that will give us an indication as to whether the locomotive is going to work. Alright, so as you can see, I switched the wire over to the other side. I guess if it's ground on the outside, it probably actually didn't matter, because the bottom bracing would ground out both sides, inner and outer. But regardless, maybe it will work better if I ground the outside all the way around anyway. So I don't know, I'm just guessing. So let's go ahead and plug this together here. And then I'm going to do the same for this one here. See if I can set you guys there. I'll try and pull this out here. I'm just going to pull the... I don't know if I'm supposed to be doing this, but You know what? I'm just going to leave it like that and just see, maybe it'll just work. And I can check the voltage around the side, and if nothing else, I can stick a piece in this side here to trace that. So let's go ahead. I did go and turn this around. You were looking the other way before. There's the pool balls. Yes, this is a pool table. I'm going to go ahead and, because my extension cord comes from this side, so I'm actually going to go ahead and plug in the transformer, and we'll see if we actually have a voltage here. Alright, take 2 of the transformer. The camera was not in the view, so I'll try this again. So I removed one extension cord from the thing. So we're on voltage DC. This should be DC volts. So it's in the off position here, and I turn it to the midpoint, and I feel some humming. So that's better than what we had before. Actually, it wasn't humming at all, and so it's the extension cord. So I'm going to go and test the voltage here. See what we got. We got no voltage there. Check that, and there's no voltage coming there. That doesn't make a lot of sense. Is it possible that this is actually AC? I don't know if this is AC or DC. Oh, that'd be strange if it was 7 volts. Oh, this is interesting. 9 volt. This is alternating current. That seems like dangerous to me. So as I turn it up, not that you can see it, but as I turn it up, the voltage is going up. So it started at, let's go to off position. Start out at basically 1 volt. And again, I wish you could see this. You're probably never going to be able to see this, but basically, as 2 volts there. As I turn this up, 9 volts, 11 volts, go fast, 13 volts. So this is 14 volts AC. That's putting out. So this is not a DC transformer. That is interesting, and I am completely ignorant of these trains, so that's fascinating that is actually AC voltage. So I think the next thing is going to be to try and wire this up to the negative and positive and just see how this is going to work. Actually, I know why there's no negative and positive. I was remarking there's no negative and positive on there. That's because for alternating current, it doesn't matter. It's going back and forth, so it doesn't matter which wire you put where. That's interesting. So, yeah, I think I'll go ahead and wire it up, and we'll just see if we get some voltage come through to the track, all around the track, see if we've got a full circuit, and then we can actually try the train. So what we need now is some short jumper cables. So we can wire this through. Now, of course, I was also mentioning before about color coding. That doesn't matter because we're talking about an AC voltage. So we don't need red and black or something like that. So I've just got some black cable here. And I'll just cut these up, and then we'll be able to connect it. I guess if you got it wired backwards, well, no. It can't be wired backwards. I'm thinking DC voltage again. I was thinking the train would go backwards, but that's not the case because it's alternating. Go ahead and get these wired in here. Now the voltage is, it is AC, but it's not very much voltage AC, 14 volts max, so I don't think that's going to kill anybody. I mean, it takes 120 to get a good zap. So from that point of view, it's not too bad. Although, anytime you're playing with AC, I guess you've got to be careful. Now, I'm just going to temporarily kind of swipe these through. I'm sure there's a proper way to be doing this, but I don't know. As long as it's making contact, I'm just kind of wrapping up around, and then we're going to cut the leads off here and wrap these around the terminals in the off position. This is very cool. Let's see. Around this way. There's one. Feels like I'm setting up a detonator or something. Dynamite caps or something. Alright, just curve that one around there. That one on here. And again, so this is going. This plugged in. So I'm going to go ahead and turn my voltmeter on again. And let's just see if we have any voltage here. 5 volts. Okay, so not on. Let's go to medium. There's 10 volts right there. So if I put the train on, it should be doing something. So if I check the tracks, 11 volts. So if I go over here, let's go over here and check, let's see, check the outside tracks to be sure. And 11 volts. Yep, so I got voltage all the way around. So that is a good sign. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this off. And what we'll do now is we'll actually put the train on it. Now I haven't looked too much at this train. It looks like there's a piece in the bottom. Sorry, you can't see that. I can't even turn this, and I'm not sure you're supposed to. One thing I will do is I'll get some sandpaper and just sand down this contact here, so that makes a nice strong bond with the center rail there. And I notice in the back there is again, you can't see it, but there's a spring underneath the trolley there. I don't know what you call them, the wheels that I need to remove. So I'll put you on pause while I see if I can work that out. I've got some pretty serious grit sandpaper here, but it's all I have. It's 100 grit, so it's pretty rough, but it does the purpose anyways. It fills the purpose. You can see how much shinier that is already. If I get both of these sides, then there's going to be a good connection with the rails. Well, these are worn down in the middle, so I'm just trying to get it's kind of a ditch in the middle where they're worn down the most from traveling with the rails. So I'm just trying to get down in there as well. Alright, this should be pretty good. Now, like I said, I have no idea what's going to happen when this thing goes on. I have no idea if all the wires are intact. And there is a piece in here which is maybe broken? Not sure. Looks like, oh, that is a broken piece. So this is a broken spring piece, which I think is supposed to maybe allow for the connection, the outside connection. So if that's not in there properly, that means it's not going to be able to be making a proper AC connection, and the plastic appears broken there. There's what I'm looking at. Can you see that? I'm sorry for the horrible light, but that is broken. I think that's probably why, because I think, well, no, that's not connected to, is that metal? No, that's not connected to anything either. I thought there might be a wire connected to that, and that was acting as a ground, or part of the ground. Well, maybe it's not, though. Maybe it's not. This front rail could also be fulfilling that purpose. So let's go ahead and stick this on. Let's just see if we get any reaction here. Alright, here goes nothing. Whoa. So what happened was it started humming, and let me take you off the camera for a second. I saw it started lighting up over here because the resistance in the track, and because this thing wasn't consuming the power. And I smell some electrical burning there, so this is a bit seized up. I'm going to have to maybe grease this up a little bit. It's probably seized up. I'm not sure exactly what it will take, but it seems like it's going to work. It's probably just been sitting for a long time and hasn't turned, so I got to get these wheels turning first, and then we'll come back to it. Alright, I thought I'd bring a little bit more light to the situation. Now, here's the guts of the train. This is an AC motor in here. This, the locomotive itself, the engine itself is plastic. This piece is the piece that I was talking about before, that it's broken out of the plastic. I'm going to super glue that down. See if I can get that, just to fix that. Up at the front here is a wire, random wire, for the boiler. I think it's just the boiler there, and it basically heats that up and makes smoke come out the top or something. I don't think there's a light. I don't think there was supposed to be a light. I'm not 100% sure, but I don't see necessarily what else it does, unless it does interact with the top there. I don't see any indication that it's touching the bottom, like the wheels on the bottom or anything. So I'm gonna tape this wire off. I'm not gonna worry with this. Maybe I'll just tuck it back inside, so that we don't have any issues. I will, however, try and super glue this while I got it, and then I can go on to the next thing. Just going to gob the super glue in there. Get that, and then try and hold this in place. This is one of those things where, there we go. Yeah, so once now that the plastic is kind of in place, now I can let it be. Now, to get these off, you do have to take off these little runners, which is just held by a couple of screws. Otherwise, it's pretty basic, so I'm going to go ahead and set this aside. Let this dry. Now, onto this thing. So now we have to get this thing turning. And it looks like there's a little motor in here that we need to get going. I do notice, however, on this side, that there is a wire that is completely off. And so, it looks like it's supposed to go on this guy over here. Yeah, it looks like the wire broke off, and so this is going to have to be connected back on to there somehow. So I'm going to have to do, not welding, what I say welding? Soldering. I'm going to have to do some soldering, which I kind of prefer not to do, because I don't have any good solder equipment, any decent solder equipment. but it looks like that's where it goes, and that's why it's not working. That being said, I would like to get this turning. Oh yeah, it turns, okay. So it's not seized up in there at all. You can see that the center turns there. Let's see, is that moving the gears? Oh yeah, that's moving all the gears, yep. So I think that'll work fine. I'll probably oil it up anyways, but it looks like, I mean, it doesn't look like it's dry. It's just not accepting the power, so I think I'll go ahead and get my solder gun out and maybe see if I can solder that. I probably won't have any luck. Miserable luck with my solder gun, but let's go and try that, and then we'll be back. So what I did here was, there was a wire, and let me see if I can pull this off the track without zapping myself. There's a wire right here that was off, and you're zoomed in. This wire was off, and I could not for the life of me solder it with my lousy solder gun. So I just drilled a tiny hole and I basically bent the wire around. I know you cannot see that. Focus. There, it's in focus. You can see the wire there. I popped a hole in it, and I'm going to put it on the track to see if it works now. So before I get there, let me go ahead and zoom in again. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and try this now. Zoom a little bit out. Now let's just see if I've plugged in the transformer. The transformer's working. I did notice you get a little bit of a zap from this thing. Interestingly. The main wheels on the track there. Line up these guys. So it is plugged in, the transformer plugged in, so we're going to go ahead and light this up here. It's trying to go, but it's not quite going. I don't want to burn anything. Let's see. It's not quite going. I'm just going to give it a little push here. It's definitely trying to go. It's just not able to spin right around. So I'm going to unplug that. And I'm going to take this off and just try and turn this manually again. It does seem to get charged up when you have it on the rails there, so be careful, I guess. So let's see. Let's see if I can spin this again. So something's definitely preventing it. So I'm turning it by hand, as you can see, and it's just really stiff. I'm not sure why. I don't know if it's supposed to be like that. I don't think it's supposed to be like that. It's just really stiff. And it's loosening up now. So I don't know why it was so stiff. There we go. Ah, there we go. I think maybe that was just a little bit rusted in there. Or maybe some grime's coming out of the wheel hubs. That's definitely going better now. Yeah, I wonder if there was something, string caught up in there or something. I'm just going to add a tiny bit of oil to the gears. What I've got is wall hair cutting oil. And just put a drop on the gears. Just to loosen those up. I don't know if I can get any on the axles or not. I won't put too much on there. It's just to run these through. Oh yeah, it's working a lot better now. And the other gears could probably use some oil too, but I'm going to leave it like that for now. That might just be enough to get it going here. Let's go ahead and stick this guy back on. And we'll plug our transformer back in. And we'll see if this works again. Alright, transformer's plugged in. Let's give it a bit of juice. Okay, it's not quite going. Let's give it a little push here. Still not quite going. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give the rails a little bit of a sand down as well. Because the better connection they make, the better it should go. If you've ever had a slot car set, you know what I'm talking about. Alright, so now I just put it right in front of the thing, and I sanded down both sides of it a little bit. So let's give it a little bit of juice here. Whoops. Awesome. Did something. A little bit of spark came out. Oh, there we go. Oh, came off the track. Alright, now that I know this works, I'm going to go ahead and put the lid back on here. The super glue, I think, is finished drying here. We'll put the lid back on because I think that's going to keep the front end down. It seems to be skipping off track a little bit. And we'll put the screws back in because I think we got it going here. Now I think the biggest thing for this is just going to get it running, get it going around the loop so that all the metal gets all the junk scraped off it. And we'll do a little bit more sanding on the main runner here. And of course you saw that I sanded this all down, so we'll get that back together, and I think we should be in good shape then. And maybe the wheels will stay on and keep better contact as well. There's quite a heavy, I don't know what this is in here, boiler or something, which probably keeps, like I say, the front of the train on. So let's get back together and see how it looks. Alright, there we go. It's all back together. Whoops. And I can see this piece is in and a lot sturdier than it was. Now it's able to bounce off this spring a little bit. So that should work out a little better. A little bit more loose than when I first had it in there. So, nice, there we go. Absolutely. Oh, okay. Let's see. Oh, we glued this too much. I thought this was going up and down here. I have to use my needle nose and just release the back tab. Alright, I got the lid back on, the engine on. We're going to go ahead and see now, if I can get you in the image there. Let's see if I can get this to go all around the track without the wheels coming off. I'll probably have to give it a little bit of encouragement first. I'll lay it on my super glue. The wheels are a little bit off. And the wires are in the way. There we go. Too well. Let me slow these down a little bit more. After it goes around the track, it really cleans up the track itself, but then it gets dirty. Alright, let's try that again. Alright, well, it's at this point in time in the video. I'm going to cut it off here. I got to a point where it was a little late and I was kind of getting tired, and I think I need to do some more work in terms of the amperage going through the track. I need to polish up and sand maybe some of the contacts and get better contacts, and I think that's going to make it run better, and I'll probably have to go through the train itself and let's see. Am I zoomed out? I am zoomed out. Go through the train itself and figure out if there's any other issues with that and get it running more smoothly. I don't think enough amperage is maybe getting through to it, or it doesn't have proper contact with the track, so it's not strong enough to actually pull the rest of the trains. So that's kind of the next thing I got to work at, and this took a little longer than I expected. So this will be part 1 of the video, and we'll come back with part 2. So thanks for watching, guys, and as always, we'll see you in the next video.